In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys 10 tips and tricks to get better at Bedwars instantly. Watch to the end to find out these 10 tips and to get instantly better. Okay guys, so the first tip I want to give you is to use head hitters, TNTs and fireballs to increase your speed. Now, I'm in a single player world, so normally you wouldn't be able to do that. But on a normal world, you could like make sort of things like this, where you could go like this, and it increases speed. And also, you can use TNTs and fireballs. For example, you could use TNT to go across here, or a fireball to go across here. Or there's also over like this area here, on each side of the map, you can use a TNT to get across here, or a fireball. Now, that just increases your speed getting around the map, and of course, increases your chances of winning and getting faster games. Tip number 2 is as soon as possible you need to buy armor. You need to get armor from the shop, because the sooner you have armor the better. I've seen so many people play the game and they get to the end game and they have no armor. It's like end of the game, people are getting stacks and stuff and they still haven't even bought armor. So definitely, instead of buying gapples and stuff, preferably save your gold up until you can afford armor. Tip number 3 is if you lose your bed, you need to get M's. Also, this includes also getting other stuff as well, resources whilst you're at it, but especially once you lose your bed, you need to try to get as many M's as possible, so you can buy pearls and stuff. Pearls are basically a second life, so if you got a couple pearls, then you're pretty good, and you actually increases your chance of winning the game, and you might even be able to clutch up and get the win. If your bed gets broken and needs to clutch up, definitely get M's. Throughout the game, after you've done your first rush and stuff, you're going to be running past diamond gens. For example, in this map, the first rush, literally you come past the diamond gen anyway, but on other maps especially, there's also diamond gens in between you and stuff. If you can get diamonds, like especially here where it's super easy because you have to rush this way anyway, then definitely be sure to grab them. But if it's a harder map where most people don't bother going for the diamonds, then maybe reconsider it. Unless it's end game and you have nothing else to do other than get diamonds, which at that case, you may as well get diamonds because then you'll be outgearing everyone. Tip number 5 is optimize your gameplay. Now what this means is, like earlier, the first tip, I recommend learning to do things faster and as efficiently as possible. So for example, learning how to bridge properly. Bridging like this is way slower than bridging like that, and it saves so much time. That's not the only thing though. Like I said earlier, using TNTs, fireballs and stuff, you can increase your speed. And also, you can buy tools and stuff to break defenses, which increases your speed and efficiency going around the map. There's also like little shortcuts and stuff throughout the map, so most people, if you're a bit of a noob, you might go like this, you might go then jump across, but if you're a good player, you would know you can just jump across like that, or if you can also do like a double jump and get across easily, or you could also just do this, which is what a noob would typically do. But there's certain things that save time. For example, like over here, you know, going like this, especially on this map. On this map, I know, for example, if I was getting these emeralds, I'd be doing like double jumps and stuff to get increased speed. But instead of going all the way around here, going like this and then like that, instead you can just kind of go like this. This isn't the only thing you can do though. There's many different like shortcuts and stuff that increase your speed, but you just kind of learn those from watching videos, getting better at the game and practicing more. Also things like this, you don't need to bridge all the way across, you don't need to go until you get to the other end. You can actually just kind of go like 3 or 4 blocks and then just jump across, and it saves a little bit of time. Little things like that, even if it's like saving 1 second, half a second, however long it is, that time adds up, especially like ones like that. That's quite a big time increase. That's like a few seconds, and each time you do it, and all these things optimize and add up to making you save time and getting beds and stuff and winning more games. Tip number 6. Now this is one of my most important ones. I actually have a video on my channel about this one, which is to warm up for Bedwars. Everybody who's good at least that goes on to Bedwars has warm up typically before they go on. Sometimes people just play a game to warm up, which is kind of bad because that decreases your stats and stuff, but if you really just want to play a game to do that, then I guess that kind of works, but that's not really what I would classify as a warm up. For me personally, I play bridge duels before I come onto Bedwars, because bridge and Bedwars have quite a few things in common, and using bridge duels as a warm-up is quite a smart thing because it warms me up for Bedwars, gets me ready to play Bedwars. This tip isn't necessary because you could just go straight into a game, and after one game you should probably be warmed up, but I recommend you do a warm up before you go into Bed Wars, especially if you care about stats and stuff. And if you want a whole explanation on how to warm up, I actually have a video that will be at the top right of your screen right now. Tip number 7 is not to buy stupid things. Now, for example, don't buy bows. They're just don't buy bows. Also, like I said earlier, you want to buy armor as soon as possible, so save up your gold instead of buying gapples unless you have to, and swords and stuff. Save up your gold until you have enough gold to buy armor. Armor is a very smart choice. Apart from maybe diamond armor, I wouldn't recommend diamond armor. Also, if you're clutching up and you need to win a game, so say you've got the emeralds like I told you earlier to do when you lose your bed, then for example, you don't want to be buying a sword or an armor. You don't want to be buying armor and stuff because that's just wasting your diamonds. Preferably, you want to at least have one pearl ready because it's a second life, and once you got a pearl and maybe some pots and stuff, then you want to maybe come back and get more emeralds and just get stacked up as much as possible, and then get more pearls, more pots, and then if you have plenty of emeralds, then maybe think about buying armor or a sword. You just really want to be smart about how you spend your resources on the game, and that includes diamonds and emeralds as well, and obviously gold and iron, especially gold and iron, because like I said earlier, you want to get armor as soon as possible because that's what everybody does. But also, it is quite important to spend your diamonds correctly. Say you get your first 4 diamonds, you want to probably be buying prot and a trap and saving the other one for maybe another trap, or maybe prot, trap and heal pool. That's what I personally go with. Say you have 3, you don't want to be going for just like traps or something. You want to have a bit of a mix of both. You almost always want to have a trap. So if you say you only get 1 diamond, which is very unlikely, but if you do only get 1 diamond, you're gonna want to spend that on a trap, and then after that you can buy other stuff like prot and sharp. Don't buy the stupid stuff like dragon buff and bad traps. The best trap I would recommend is probably the mining fatigue trap. There are a few other ones. The one like gives you blindness and slowness, that one's pretty good, but to be honest, most people go with mining fatigue, and that's for a good reason, because it's the best trap. Tip number 8, don't build too big of a defense. Now what I mean by this is, don't spend your resources on unnecessary stuff like endstone and wood and building giant defenses. Wood, not so much. I quite like wood, but personally I just go for wool. Don't waste your materials on buying endstone and glass and all that stuff. You just need to basically either get wood and wool, or wool. Preferably for me, I go for just 1 layer wool defense like this, but you could also go for the typical wood. But you could also go for the typical wood and wool defense. But just don't spend too long in a defense. After you got this, also you might even want to go inside and put a layer of obsidian, which is what you can do, which is basically it's the best defense in the game. Obsidian is the best defense in the game. It beats any defense by miles, but in my opinion I normally go with a wool. But also this works as well, especially for like most like duos and stuff. But for solos at least, I would go for a wool defense. Just don't spend too long making a defense, and don't spend too much resources, because you want to spend those resources on better, more valuable things. Tip number 9, you want to prevent KB. The way you do prevent KB is you use blocks, or you can use ladders as well. Ladders, actually, let me grab these real quick. Ladders, like when you go like this, people here trying to hit you, you'll take way less knockback. Or you can even use the ladders, and you can actually click and place blocks behind you, so basically it makes you unhittable. You can't really get hit off that way. You get hit off the side, but ladders reduce your KB by a ton anyway. That's why if you see any good players, they all use them, because they are literally dirt cheap and they're insanely good in the game. Also, if you don't have ladders, you can just use blocks like this. Say for example there's someone up there trying to knock me off, I could build like all these blocks behind me like this to like prevent me from getting knocked back. Or I could even go like this and make like a little hole, or too high hole like this, and that like really prevents it. Or you could also like, say you were like up here, they were there, you can just go like this and like fully box yourself in or something, even like that. And yeah, you could just reduce your KB by doing that. Also, say for example your enemy's up there and they're gonna try to knock you off, you can go like this and block yourself off. This blocking off strategy is kind of useful in every way. you could also go like this, and you can like tunnel your way up like so, and yeah, and then you're up. But yeah, just you really use blocks and ladders and stuff to prevent a knockback, and you should be good, or not completely good, but you should be getting knocked into the void a lot less. Tip number 10. Now I actually got this tip from Intel Edit, shout out. I also kind of got this video idea from him, but not really. It was kind of an original idea, but then I searched it up and Intel Edits had already made this video, but I thought I had some interesting tips that he hadn't given which would be useful for people. And one of the tips he did explain in his video quite thoroughly, so definitely go check out his channel, by the way, he's a really cool guy, is using blocks to combo people. So say there was someone running up to you and you wanted to combo them. If you didn't have any blocks, you can't really do this, but if you have blocks, what you can do is you can place blocks in front of them, preventing them from walking to you basically, and you can combo them. There's also multiple other ways you can do this. So like, for example, say you got their bed here, I do this one a lot, is you can go like this and pull it away from their bed defense. It blocks them off like a lot. If they're a newer player, typically you can just go like this, and then you can just, they'll come over here and you can like knock them off or something. Or you can also, there was one Intel Edit showed, which is where you go like this and you block it off like that, and they run into the corner and you can get a combo. There's a multitude of ways which you can do this, but those are some of the most commonly used ones, and I'm going to throw some clips on the screen right now to show you what they look like. Alright, so I guess this is technically tip number 11, it's a bonus tip, but the best way to get good at Bed Wars, and this is obviously really true and it obviously really works, and yeah, obviously you should all do this, because if it's the best tip, then it will make you the best at Bed Wars. And this tip is to subscribe to me. Yeah, that's right, subscribe to me. It actually is proven by the statistics that subscribing to Yuixy, it actually gives you a plus 10 IQ, and it also makes you way better at Bed Wars. So yeah, why would you not do it? I don't know, you may as well do it. It's a free 10 IQ, and it also makes you a god at Bed Wars, trust me. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It's been a fun one to record. Let me know if you want more videos like this, maybe 10 tips for the bridge or 10 tips for other modes, and PvP in general. Hope you guys did enjoy today's video, and I'll see you guys all next time. See ya!